Gaffer, a disappointing game on Saturday, but we've got a nice open week now going into the FA Cup game this Saturday. How has the reaction been since the lads have been back in from Monday?
It's been very good. Obviously we've had a disappointing result and performance in a lot of aspects on Saturday. So the positivity around the group's been good this week, and there's been some really good meetings. So it's good to get a clear week as far as we've got lads coming back from injury and stuff that we need to integrate into the squad. And that's give us a chance to get some work into them and to see where they're at really and how much of influence they can have in the game.
You just touched on injuries there. Obviously, we had Andy Carroll come back into the team on Saturday. You mentioned before that Timothy Dieng is close to being back. How are we looking on that front?
Yeah, Andy at this stage is not in a position where he can start a game. He's had a hamstring injury where he came back too soon probably beforehand. The good thing about Andy, he's desperate to help the team, and he will do massively when he comes back. But what we don't want to do is push him back too early, too soon. Half an hour at this stage is probably the maximum we can push him to, because we don't want him to break down for us. And I realise, and I think all his teammates realise, what a big influence he's going to be both on and off the pitch for us at the football club. So we need to slowly build him up. So he'll be involved again, but won't be in a position to start the game at this stage. Tim Dieng, the same. He'll be involved this week as well, but again, been out since the start of the season. He's only trained 3 days, so he can be involved and maybe make an impact from the bench, but won't be available to start. Moving on to George Marsh. George has really tried to help the team since he's been here. He's such a great pro and a really determined person and player, and he's been trying to play through an injury. With his hernia. He had a hernia op in the summer, but he's had another niggle and a different injury that he now has to have a procedure and have an operation. So he's not going to be involved. He has an operation on Saturday up in Manchester to put that right. So he'll be out for 4 or 5 weeks. He just was desperate to do well for the team, was trying to get through and try and play and try and help. But he actually got to a position where he wasn't helping himself or helping us, and I couldn't put him ahead of other centre midfielders in the team because they're fully fit and training fully. So, we've had to put him out, unfortunately, but George, again, will be another big player for us.
So obviously looking ahead to Saturday, we start our FA Cup journey. Obviously Bedford are at the same level as us. What do we know about them as a side?
Yeah, a team that obviously got promoted last year, 3G pitch they play on. They've got some good experienced players in the team that have been around Conference South National League level, and really are quite pragmatic in the way they play and really effective. Watched their game against Hereford last Saturday, and waiting for the footage now for the week. The game just gone, so against Curzon Ashton. So they're a team that are dangerous. They've got a bit of pace on the counter attack. They've got some big lads in the team, and they're a team that have got momentum. Obviously, after getting promoted last year, and started reasonably well this year. Tyrone Marsh, ex-Boreham Wood, player getting 8 goals already this season as a centre forward, so he started the season well. Sean Jeffers up front as well, been at St Albans for years, scored a lot of goals. They've got Coyle there, who's been at Oxford City, etc. So they've got some real experience in the team, and it'll be a difficult game for us, but one we're looking forward to, and looking forward to going up there and trying to get a result.
Absolutely, and then the FA Cup sort of gives us a nice break in between sort of league action. How important do you view the competition?
It's of the utmost importance, especially at this stage. We haven't hit the ground running. We've been bitty in performance and not good enough in results. So it's a game that we want to go and try and win. I would never go into a game, obviously, trying to lose a game anyway. Or my mentality all the time is try and play the best team and try and win every game. And that's certainly what we'll be doing Saturday.